What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated two-division world champion, who is the reigning WBC middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Jermall Lions Only Charlo, who is 32 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32, going on 33 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. He laughs at the notion of four-division world champion, who is the undisputed super middleweight world champion, is widely considered by many to be the face of the sport of boxing, in Saul Canelo Álvarez. Canelo Álvarez is 59 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32, going on 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. Right? There's reports and rumors that Jermall Charlo is going to fight Canelo Álvarez now because Canelo Álvarez simply ran out of options. Right? Canelo Álvarez was rumored to possibly face off against the guy that last beat him in undefeated WBA light heavyweight world champion, Russian superstar boxer, Dmitry Bivol. But Canelo Álvarez, he wants everything to be in his favor. And Dmitry Bivol, he beat Canelo Álvarez, dominated Canelo Álvarez, won all but 2 to 3 rounds in the fight. And now Dmitry Bivol wants to fight Canelo Álvarez at super middleweight, 168, for all Canelo Álvarez's belts. He don't want no more built-in excuses, as Canelo Álvarez stated after he lost to Dmitry Bivol, May of 2022, that he suffered a shoulder injury, hand injury, and he dared to be great going up to 175, although he already beat Sergey Crusher Kovalev for the WBO title that made him a 4-division champion. So Dmitry Bivol said he wanted no excuses. He wanted to fight Canelo Álvarez at 168. Canelo Álvarez turned it down. Canelo Álvarez wants to control the demands, as he should. He's still the A-side. He's the face of boxing, but the negotiation should be much closer, seeing as though Dmitry Bivol also beat Zordo Ramirez, okay, after that, and dominated him, won every single round. He's clearly a top 5, top 10 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, and he dominated Canelo Álvarez. So they moved away from that negotiation. Then they moved into negotiations with the WBC Cruiserweight World Champion, star boxer Badou Jack. Badou the Ripper Jack. But that fell apart because Badou Jack fights at 200 pounds. And Canelo Álvarez wants him to come 20 pounds south of his fighting weight at 200 pounds and fight Badou Jack at 180, which is still 5 pounds north of the weight he dared to be great in, fighting Dmitry Bivol at 175. And Badou Jack said, I'm an old man and I'm not going to squeeze down to that weight. So go ahead and fight the man that the world want to see you fight, an undefeated 2-time WBC super middleweight world champion, Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer, the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. Canelo Álvarez, David Benavidez is his mandatory. Canelo Álvarez don't want to fight David Benavidez. So he's moving away from that fight, and now it looks like he's going to choose to fight Jermall Charlo. Why? David Benavidez is coming off the biggest win in his career, as he just recently defeated the former IBF world champion, superstar boxer, Caleb Sweethand Plant, right? But again, like I said, David Benavidez is active. Okay, David Benavidez is coming off the biggest win in his career. He's 27 wins, no loss, no draw, 23 big wins by way of knockout. He's only 26 years of age, 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. He just beat Caleb Plant March 25th of this year and won a unanimous decision, but he was en route to knocking out Caleb Plant. But Caleb Plant was crafty and learned how to survive, and knew how to survive. Not learn, knew how to survive. And so with that said, he won a unanimous decision. And Caleb Plant was outboxing David Benavidez in the first half of the fight. But he don't want that fight. So now he's going in what? The direction of Jermall Charlo. Because Jermall Charlo is undefeated, but he hasn't fought since June of 2021. Jermall Charlo has been dealing with life issues outside the sport of boxing, mental health issues, personal issues outside the sport of boxing, and he's been inactive. So that makes sense, right? So Canelo Álvarez sees Jermall Charlo as a lick right now. Why? Because Jermall Charlo, who is 33 years of age, okay, Jermall Charlo is inactive. He's inactive, right? He turned 33 May 19th. So Jermall Charlo is 33 years of age. And he ain't fight in 2 years. And he's been dealing with mental health and personal issues outside the sport of boxing. So he's ripe for the picking, opposed to fighting his WBC mandatory challenger, who fights at 168. Jermall Charlo fights at 160. So his debut would be against Canelo Álvarez at 168. After a 2-year layoff and dealing with mental, that's right, easy pickings. But you don't fight the man that fights, and the last man standing in your way of cleaning out 168, and David Benavidez. You beat Caleb Plant, you beat Caleb Smith, you beat Billy Joe Saunders, you beat John Ryder. The only man left standing at 168 for you to absolutely clean out the division is the man that was deemed to be the best fighter in the division from the beginning before you made your debut there, in David Benavidez, who's your WBC mandatory and already fights at 168 and just fought in March. He's fresh, and he's Mexican Ecuadorian. It brings the huge Latino fan base. But you don't want to fight him. But you dared to be great. You don't want to fight the man that fights at 168. You want to fight the man that fights at 160 and ain't fighting 2 years? Calculated. It's calculated movement. And the fan base of Canelo Álvarez should be ashamed of themselves for celebrating such a move. And Jermall Charlo, he laughing at the notion that Canelo Álvarez is even going to take the fight. Again, like I said, I hope Canelo Álvarez gets the absolute best version of Jermall Charlo there possibly is. The absolute best version of Jermall Charlo there could possibly be. I hope Jermall Charlo absolutely peaks at his absolute best before going into this fight with Canelo Álvarez, and you get the absolute best version of Jermall Charlo before he goes into this fight with Canelo Álvarez. Because this is strategic, okay? This is terrible for the sport of boxing, to say the very least, right? Because Canelo Álvarez should be fighting the absolute best there is, and that's in the form of David Benavidez, a man who fights at 168 right now. He campaigns at 168. He was seen as to be the best fighter at 168 before Canelo Álvarez made that division his home. And so he don't choose to fight David Benavidez. He wants to fight coming on. I hope you get the absolute best version, peak version of Jermall Charlo there absolutely is. Because they're choosing Jermall Charlo, attempting to choose Jermall Charlo, simply because they think he's ripe for the picking. He's ripe for the picking. Because Jermall Charlo was calling Canelo Álvarez out when he was at 154 and 160, and they didn't want to make that fight. Jermall Charlo was Canelo Álvarez's mandatory at WBC challenger at 160, and he vacated the belt. Hence the reason why Jermall Charlo got the WBC. Then he jumped up to fight Sergey Kovalev, and then made 168 his home. Strategically, when he saw David Benavidez lost his belt on the scale, he never lost his belt in the ring. Hence the reason why he's 2-time super middleweight world champion. Never lost his belt in the ring. He lost it due to recreational drug use outside the ring, and then he lost it on the scale during the pandemic. And now Canelo Álvarez strategically is going to move around him. When David Benavidez's manager, Samson Liquid, pleaded with the WBC at the WBC convention to the president, Mauricio Suleiman, board of 32 members, to please uphold the mandatory challenge for this man, for David Benavidez gives opportunity, and they told Sampson to his face, or they will uphold it, and they're doing the opposite. Instead of stripping Canelo. But they ready to strip Canelo if he chooses to fight Dimitri Bivol at 168. Because they said that they don't want the WBC to represent and be in the line with Russian athletes. Amazing. So Jermall Charlo laughs at the notion that Canelo Álvarez is going to choose him next. I hope we get the absolute best version of Jermall Charlo you ever seen in your life. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. It's your boy Blue. Peace.